Hi friends, it's me, Miss Britta. I was talking to one of my friends on the phone last week and they told me some really sad news. They said that their grandpa died. That happens a lot in our world. I found this book that talks a little bit about when people die, and I thought I'd share it with you. This is called I Miss You, A First Look at Death by Pat Thomas. Every day someone is born, and every day someone dies. Death is a natural part of life. All living things grow, change, and eventually die. When someone dies, their body stops working. They stop breathing and their heart stops beating. They can't think or feel anymore, and they don't eat or sleep. In books and in movies, it's usually bad people who die. But in real life, good people die too. People die for different reasons. Some people die because they're old. Some people get very sick and then they die. Some people die because something unexpected and tragic happened to them. What about you? Have you ever known someone who died? After a person dies, there's usually a ceremony called a funeral. At the funeral, people who knew that person can gather together to say goodbye. They may bring flowers, tell stories, or recite poems. Right now, it's really hard to get together when somebody dies. So you might have to write letters, give hugs to the people who are in your house and in your family, instead of gathering together. It can be hard to say goodbye. It's normal to miss someone you love very much. When someone dies, especially if the death is sudden, that means it happens when people aren't thinking about it. It's normal to think of things you wish you had said or things you wish you had not said. This girl's thinking about time with her grandma. You may wish that you had been nicer or more helpful, but the way you behaved did not make that person die. Try to tell yourself, remind yourself that he or she died loving you for who you were, not for the things you did or said. When someone you love dies, it can feel as if your heart has been torn in two. It can feel as if part of you is missing. This girl is doing something normal when someone dies. She's crying in her bed. These feelings can take a long time to get over. You may feel lots of different sad feelings before you finally begin to feel like yourself again. When someone you love dies, it can be hard to do all the normal things you did before. You may not feel like seeing your friends or joining in groups. You may feel very alone. Other people may find it hard to talk to you. This is not because they don't care, but because they don't know what to say or do to help you. And this part is very important. These big feelings, moms and dads get those big feelings too. It's not just something that happens to kids. There's a lot that we don't know about death. Every culture has different beliefs about what happens after a person dies. These folks are putting flowers and poems down for someone who's passed away or died. But most cultures also share some beliefs, like the idea that when a person dies, their soul, the part of them that makes them special, takes a journey to join the souls of other people who have passed away. It's not an easy idea to understand, especially when you're very young. Sometimes it helps if you think of the soul as a single raindrop joining a great big ocean. Talk to your family about what your family believes happens when you die. Even after someone you know or love dies, life goes on. The things you learned from that person stay inside of you and become a part of you. As time goes on, you'll realize that no one is completely gone as long as you can remember the one you love. This picture is very special to me because this little girl is remembering her grandma, and her grandma taught her how to make cookies, and grandma died, so she can't make cookies with her anymore. But the girl is making cookies and sharing it with her friends and family. That's a way for the memory of grandma to stay. My grandpa loved maple bars and brownies. When he was alive, we would always buy some and eat them together. So now every time I smell a maple bar or I see somebody making brownies, it reminds me of my grandpa, and that memory is special. I hope you learned a lot from reading this book with us today. If you have any questions, you can call or email your teacher, and your family is there with you to talk about anything that you've read. Bye.